just when I thought this car couldn't feel any more capable, you go and do something like this. Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. You join me here at Suspension Secrets. Matt has kindly invited me down for a day's work to help me prep the M2 Comp for what we hope will be a very busy 2021, all fingers crossed. To include, but not exclusively, car meets, track days, and what I hope will be a very special trip during the PetrolHeads Scotland North Coast 500 tour in July. Now, a lot of the prep work we're doing here today could be done anywhere. However, for those of you who are not new to the channel, you'll be aware that this is not my first or even my second experience visit to Matt and the team here at Suspension Secrets. More recently, I was here to install the Öhlins road and track coilovers, video in pop-up banner. I don't know where they pop up these days, but somewhere. And during that install, Matt advised me that he'd been working on some very special camber plates, something that you can't really get anywhere else, and a bit of a development on from some of the other systems and camber plates available. These bad boys are fresh out of the box, and I believe one of the first installs for Matt beyond his development and testing, so I'm really excited to get these on. We're also going to be adjusting the Öhlins suspension and having a play with a few settings there, ready for the Highlands and fast B-road driving. While I'm here, we're also going to be fitting some mesh grills into the inside of the bumper to help protect the radiators. Both Scotland and track days are notorious for spitting cosmic rocks at the car, and the M2 is overly susceptible to this in my opinion. There's 5 radiators in the front maybe, I don't know too many. I'm sure they all do a job, there's just a lot there, and they are all very vulnerable. The grills that come on the front of the car are, in my opinion, wide open, and when you are following any car at pace, inevitably stones go through those into the radiator and cause damage. So we're just going to add a bit of protection there. And I've had mag plates sat in my garage for as long as I can remember. The front number plate on this car is a huge bone of contention for me and something I've been working really hard to try and get how I want. The idea of the mag plates is the magnet goes on the inside, plate will stick straight on, come track day, car show, anything along those sort of lines comes straight off, and you get the sort of no number plate front, which looks lots better. But it's also illegal, so you can't really drive around with it like that day to day. So without further ado, lights, camera, B-roll. Right, so the bumper's back on. Mesh is looking nice. Mag plate, Bosch. Easy now. Really pleased with how the mesh has come out. Absolute must-have if you're planning on tracking, driving, following anything that spits out stones. Right, next, time for the big boys. While Matt's doing the hard work, just a quick look around the Suspension Secret garage. Bit of a top secret project here. Some really special stuff planned with this, but I can't tell you what. Top secret, veto. But a very bare Cayman shell Really neat coach work underneath, which tells you everything you need to know if you know Matt, because he's blatantly going to rip that apart and put something very special in it. Not that I'm allowed to say anything. Rari. Civic race car. Very, very close to being ready. A Honda CRZ race car. So that's going through a rebuild as we speak. And then this thing, it's absolutely beautiful. Have a look at this livery. Just Lancia Integrale race car. Look at that. And then in here you get sort of where all the business happens. Lots of beautiful parts and I've never seen one of these before. Check this out. 3D print. Right, back to it. We're about to do the camber plates, so let's get to it. Right, first plate. Firmly in place. Matt's here and just compare that. So you can see there's obviously a huge amount of difference in just aesthetics, but it's not all talk to say the least. Very quickly as well, Matt, I think you're better placed to describe what's going on here than I am by a country mile. But obviously plates engineered, designed by yourselves. Yep. I would always have headed for Milway, I guess, as
that's
camber plates.
A big brand on the market, yeah.
Yeah, and they're sort of seen as the creme de la creme. Yeah. But without talking out of turn, these do more, don't they?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So
in that
we sort of looked at what was out there and how we could improve upon it and what we could add to the market. So our camber plates have a series of holes, so you have the option to bottom in like normal and adjust camber, or you can rotate them and you can adjust camber and caster at the same time. Yeah. We've also put teethed grooves in, so quite a common problem is with the camber plates, if you run curbs on track or potholes on the road, they can slip and jump because it's just a slot, whereas ours are toothed, so when they're set, they can't shift, it can't physically move. So it's a little bit more sturdy, holds its settings a little bit nicer. We've also gone for the best quality bearings we can find, German bearings, so they won't knock as much. You'll always get a tiny bit of knock with this sort of top mount because it's still a solid bearing, you're still a solid system from the wheel, so it will change in noise slightly, but it's as close to minimum noise as you can get.
And with regards to settings, what have we gone for here? So I've talked to you sort of about the use of the car. The purpose of today is to get prepped for PetrolHead Scotland track days later on, but it is PetrolHead Scotland first. And so we talked about sort of general road settings really. Yeah. So what would you go for now as settings on camber?
So for you for Scotland, we're going to go for negative 2.2 degrees on the front. And that's a good middle ground. If you push that hard on track, you will lose a bit of outside edge. If you're cruising on the road, it will do mainly inside edge on the motorway. So it's a good middle ground for pushing hard and everyday use. If it was just track, we'd push that up into the high twos. Yeah. If it was just purely road and you weren't going to push it really, we'd be dropping back towards 1.8, something like that. Yeah, which you can achieve for these plates as well. I was going to say, so you can do all of that via that. Yeah. So huge amount of adjustment on the front, which we don't have before. Yeah, and then we're going to soften off the O-lins as well. So they're currently running about 7 ticks, and we'll have a play with those in a bit and see where we end up. But for now, that one's in. That one's next. Yep. Let's go. All right.
Right, so we are in. Top mounts on. Drop links done. Wheels to go on shortly. And now we've just got to get to this little twisty knob here and titivate the O-lins. So when we installed the O-lins, we did it ready for track work. So they are at 7 clicks at the moment, I think, which is sort of at the very top of what you should have for track. But bearing in mind there are, Matt, how many clicks are in the O-lins? 30 odd? I think it's 30. Obviously we're right towards the side of sort of stiffness. So we are going to have a look at getting those a bit softer now, ready for some good mileage, touring road use with a bit of fast B roads. So we're going to tweak, drive, see what we think, and I'll come back to you with where we settled.
So we're back off to see where we definitely are. Yeah, so we're 7 from stiff.
7 from stiff.
So I've gone full soft there.
So on the basis there's 30 clicks.
So I reckon we go to 15.
Yeah, try 15.
Yeah.
See it? Oh, right.
12 on the back.
Yeah.
Keep it a little bit softer from the front.
So 12 would be softer?
Yeah, I go to full soft and go up.
Right, and then go up.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so we are getting there now. Wheels are back on, camber plates in. Because we've made all of these adjustments, the other thing we need to do now is for Matt to get his swanky geometry kit out. There's a proper term for that. Stringline kit, to look at the toe-in and get it all set up now that all the new kit's on there. So we'll get that done, and then let's get out on the road testing. Buddy. Right. A day with Matt and Suspension Secrets done. New setup honed. Let's go find out what it's all about. Oh God. Oh, it's so much better. Okay, good test coming. Yeah. Oh wow, the grip, the front end grip. Okay. Okay, so initial impressions. Matt told me the front end would feel a lot different, and I didn't think that that was possible, but I was wrong. That's a little bit more than I was expecting, and because we've softened the O-lins off as well, so a 15 clicks now, that's made a good difference to the ride. We actually, that's not true, we've got 15 at the front, 12 at the rear. The ride vastly improved. In fact, I probably need to do just a completely different video on the O-lins once I've got used to that. But the difference in camber, it gives you so much more confidence to push on mid-corner. That's just ballistic, absolutely ballistic. That's a game changer. It wasn't bad before, but you did have to be very careful mid-corner, whereas now there is no mid-corner, there is no pause, there is no gap, there is no weight. It is just having driven for over an hour now, admittedly most motorway, came off and did a junction that I know has got windy roads between it. The turning's different, and that is, dramatic's a word that can be overused, but it is quite dramatic how much different the turning in feels. But it's mid-corner for me, it's midway through the corner where you really get a feel for what difference has been made, or where the gain is on the car, and how the car is just that much more stable once it's in to carry you round. It's just phenomenal. Oh yeah, these road surfaces are so bad, so slippy, and yet you wouldn't know. settle it. No right to go through there like that. It's very difficult not to say that it feels like the front wheels have got a little bit of drive in them. I know that might sound silly, but they're just that planted. That's sort of how it makes you feel. Right guys, that's enough silly faces for me. I will check in with you in a few weeks' time to give you a bit of an update once I've had time to really get to know this setup. One final thank you again to Matt from Suspension Secrets, and to all of you guys for tuning in. Those of you new to the channel, Car Man Dad is in the process of becoming a 100% not-for-profit charity. That means your views, likes, subscriptions, any purchases of jumpers, t-shirts, bottles, stickers from controlandshift.com, any revenue we generate from YouTube is all going into the pot to help make a difference in other people's lives. So if you like what you see, give us a like, hit that subscribe button, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Cheers.